A jet's engine explodes, a teen's wrench sparking as he defies scorn to save it. His jet-engraved watch glinting while the CEO rages at failing engineers, a lost son's relic. Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for our thrilling saga. Don't miss the next epic chapter. Victor's voice thundered through the hangar, a venomous roar that silenced the screeching alarms. Incompetent fools, this jet's worth millions, and you let it burn. His silver hair glinted under floodlights, his suit pristine, his eyes blazing as he jabbed a finger at the cowering engineers. Their tools scattered, faces pale. The private jet, Sky Pulse's flagship, belched smoke, flames licking its fuselage from a ruptured fuel line. Hours from its VIP route launch press conference, cameras already swarming outside. Chief Engineer Harris stammered, sweat beading. "We've tried everything." Sir Victor's fist slammed a crate, tools rattling. "You're fired if this fails." The crew shrank, their hours of failed repairs exposed. The jet's launch ticking down. Malik, 16, stood at the hangar's edge, grease staining his jumpsuit, wrench gripped tight, his heart pounding as he watched the chaos. Harris's glare landed on him, voice dripping scorn. "What are you staring at?" Trainee cleaned the floor. Engineer snickered, their eyes mocking, dismissing the kid from the hardship program. Malik's jaw clenched, his voice low but firm. "I can fix it." Laughter erupted. Harris sneering. "You a charity case fixing this jet dream." Malik ignored them, stepping forward, toolbox clattering, his boots crunching debris. Victor's head snapped toward him, eyes narrowing. "Who's this?" Harris scoffed. "Nobody, sir. Just a kid." Malik's gaze met Victor's, unflinching. The injectors clogged. "I'll clear it." The hangar stilled, the crew's smirks fading. Victor's stare cold but curious. "Prove it, or you're out." Malik dove under the wing, wrench twisting a valve, sparks flying as he choked the fuel line, flames sputtering, his grease-smeared face glowing in the firelight. Engineers muttered, "He'll blow it." But Malik yanked a panel, fingers unclogging the injector with precise turns, the engine coughing, then steadying, smoke curling away. The flames died, the jet saved, the hangar's air thick with stunned silence. Harris's face twisted, his shout venomous. "He got lucky." Victor's hands shot up, silencing him, his voice ice. "Results speak. You didn't deliver." His eyes locked on Malik, studying the kid's defiance, his chest heaving, wrench dripping oil. Malik adjusted the cabin door's hydraulic, the panel slamming shut, pulling a silver pocket watch from his jumpsuit to check the time, its engraved jet airplane catching the floodlights, glinting sharply. Victor froze, breath hitching, hand trembling as he pointed. "Where'd you get that watch?" The hangar fell quiet, alarms muted, the crew's eyes darting between them. Malik's fingers grazed the watch, voice steady. "My dad's. He died in a crash." Victor's face drained, hand dropping, mind reeling the watch. Identical to the one he'd forged for his son, Ethan, a pilot lost in a test flight 8 years ago, never recovered. Harris snorted, breaking the tension, his tone mocking kids' spinning tails. Back to mopping, Malik's fist clenched, wrench twitching, but Victor's voice cut through. "Sharp enough. You talk, now." Malik stood taller, eyes meeting Victor's. "I was a pilot. Mom said he flew for faith, not money. That's all I know." Victor's pulse hammered, fingers fumbling for his phone, pulling up Ethan's photo, the same watch gleaming on his wrist. His whisper shook impossible. News vans honked outside, their horns piercing the hangar's steel doors, the press closing in, floodlights glaring through cracks. Harris shoved forward, barking, "We're late, ditch this kid." Victor's glare silenced him, his voice low, commanding. "He stays." Malik's wrench clattered to the floor, his eyes searching Victor's, sensing the weight of his stare. The watch a spark igniting a buried truth. A shadow darted near the jet's tail, a saboteur, hired by a rival shareholder, slipping a wrench into the landing gear. His phone texting rigged. It'll crash at takeoff. Malik's head snapped up, catching the glint of movement, his shout piercing someone's tampering. He sprinted, toolbox banging against his hip, dodging crates and oil drums. The saboteur bolting, knocking over a fuel can, black liquid pooling. Victor charged after, his voice a roar. "Stop him!" Malik tackled the man, wrench swinging, grazing his arm, the saboteur's phone skidding across the concrete, its screen flashing the incriminating text. Victor snatched it, his eyes scanning, face darkening sabotage. The saboteur kicked free, scrambling into the hangar's maze of machinery, vanishing as alarms blared anew. Malik stood, the watch glinting in his pocket, his breath ragged, his voice fierce. "They're targeting the jet." Victor's hand clamped Malik's shoulder, his voice steel. "You saved it. Twice." Harris's face contorted, his shout desperate. "He's a risk, he'll ruin us." Victor's glare was lethal, his words final. "You're the liability. He's proven himself." The crew shifted, their scorn replaced by uneasy respect. Malik's watch a mystery pulling Victor into the past. The press van screeched closer, their lights flooding the hangar, the launch countdown relentless. The saboteur's threat, a ticking bomb. Malik's watch a beacon to unravel Ethan's fate and expose a conspiracy within Skypulse. Victor's hand trembled as he clutched his phone. Ethan's photo frozen on the screen, the silver pocket watch with its jet airplane engraving glinting in the image, identical to the one Malik had pulled from his jumpsuit in the hangar. The jet's engine hummed, now stable, but the air crackled with tension. The press conference looming 3 hours away, news vans blaring outside Skypulse's hangar. Malik stood firm, wrench in hand, grease streaking his face, his eyes locked on Victor's, the weight of the CEO's stare pressing down. Harris, the chief engineer, sneered from a workbench, his voice dripping venom. "This kid's a distraction. We're on a deadline." His crew nodded, their glares cutting into Malik, the charity case who'd outshone them. Victor's voice snapped, ice-cold silence. "Harris, you failed." "He didn't." His eyes never left Malik, his command sharp. "You said your father was a pilot. Tell me everything." Malik's fingers brushed the watch, his voice steady but low. "Mom raised me alone. Said Dad flew for passion, not pay. He crashed 8 years ago. Left this watch." She never said his name. Victor's breath hitched, his mind racing Ethan. His son, vanished in a test flight. The wreckage never fully explained. He stepped closer, voice a growl, "Your mother's name." Malik's jaw tightened, sensing the edge in Victor's tone. "Lila." "That's all I'll say." Harris scoffed, tossing a wrench onto a crate, the clang echoing. "He's lying. Some street kid with a stolen trinket." Malik's fist clenched, his wrench twitching, but Victor's glare silenced Harris, his voice lethal. "One more word. You're out." The hangar's floodlights flickered, casting shadows, the jet's polished hull reflecting the crew's uneasy faces. Victor's phone buzzed, a text from his assistant, boards furious. "Jet must fly on time." He ignored it, his focus on Malik, the watch a ghost pulling him back. "Show me where you keep your tools," Victor ordered, his tone unyielding, leading Malik to a cluttered corner, toolboxes piled high. Malik hesitated, then opened his locker, revealing a worn photo tucked inside Lila. Smiling, holding a toddler, the watch on her wrist. Victor's heart lurched. He'd met Lila once, years ago, when Ethan defied the family to be with her. "This changes everything," Victor muttered, his hands shaking, pocketing his phone. Malik's eyes narrowed, voice sharp. "What's it to you?" Before Victor could answer, a clatter rang out, a wrench up, hitting the floor near the jet's landing gear, the same spot the saboteur had targeted. Malik spun, shouting someone's back. He sprinted, dodging oil drums. Victor close behind. Harris and the crew frozen, their scorn replaced by alarm. A figure in a dark jacket bolted, clutching a small device, wires dangling, his boots slipping on spilled fuel. Malik tackled him, wrench swinging, grazing the man's shoulder, the device skidding across the concrete, its screen flashing fuel system override, detonate at takeoff. Victor snatched it, his face darkening, voice a snarl. "They're still after the jet." The saboteur kicked Malik's ribs, breaking free, diving behind a crate, his knife flashing as he slashed a fuel hose. Gas spraying. Malik rolled, grabbing a fire extinguisher, foam blasting, choking the spray. The saboteur coughing, stumbling. Victor lunged, tackling him, pinning his arms, the knife clattering. "Who sent you?" Victor roared. Lucia did knee on the man's chest. The saboteur spat, gasping, "You'll find out." Malik yanked the device's wires, disabling it, his breath ragged, the watch glinting as he stood. Harris charged forward, shouting. The kid's drawing trouble. Ground him. Victor shoved the saboteur to a security guard, his glare silencing Harris. "He's the only one stopping this." The guard cuffed the man, dragging him off, but his phone, left behind, pinged Plan B, cockpit sabotage. Malik's eyes widened, sprinting to the jet's cockpit, wrench in hand, Victor following, their boots pounding the ramp. Inside, a panel hung loose, wires tampered, a blinking LED signaling a short circuit. Malik dove in, fingers ripping out the rigged wires, sparks flying, his voice fierce. "They're overloading the controls," Victor watched, his mind torn. Malik's skill, his watch, Ethan's echo. The LED died, the cockpit safe, Malik's hand steady, grease smearing the watch. Victor's voice dropped. "Urgent, your mother, where is she now?" Malik climbed out, wiping sweat, his tone guarded. "Gone. 2 years ago. Cancer." Victor's chest tightened. Lila's loss, another blow. His suspicion hardening. Malik could be Ethan's son. Harris burst in, face red, shouting, "This is insanity. He's no engineer." Malik's wrench hit the floor, his voice cutting. "Check the jet. It's flying." Victor nodded, climbing down, his phone buzzing a private investigator's text. Lila's records found. Ethan linked. Need DNA. Victor's resolve steeled, his voice low. "Get me a sample." Quietly, outside, the hangar doors groaned, press vans flooding the tarmac, their lights glaring. The saboteur's threat a shadow over the launch. Malik grabbed his toolbox, eyes scanning the jet, catching a glint, a logbook, hidden under a seat. Its cover marked E. Holt. He flipped it open, heart racing. Ethan's handwriting detailing his last flight. Suspect foul play. Fuel readings off. Malik's grip tightened, his shout urgent. "Victor, look at this." Victor snatched the logbook, his face grim, the watch's engraving a mirror to Ethan's words. Harris hovered, his sneer fading, the crew's murmurs growing. A distant clang echoed. A new saboteur, slipping through the hangar's rear, texting logbook found. "Destroy it." Malik's head snapped up, wrench raised, his voice fierce. "They're not done." Victor's hand clamped Malik's arm, his voice steel. "We fight this together." The hangar pulsed, the jet ready, the press closing in. Ethan's logbook and a spark to unravel a conspiracy. Malik's watch a vow to honor a father he never knew. Malik's fingers gripped the logbook. Ethan's scrawl suspect foul play. Fuel readings off burning into his mind. The hangar's floodlights casting harsh shadows over the jet's polished hull. The press conference was 2 hours away. News vans clogging the tarmac. their horns blaring. But the discovery of the saboteur's device in Ethan's journal had shifted everything. Victor stood beside him, the silver pocket watch with its jet airplane engraving glinting in Malik's hand, a relic tying them to a past neither fully understood. Victor's face was stone, his voice low. This logbook changes nothing unless we prove it. Keep it hidden. His eyes flicked to Harris, who hovered near a workbench, his scowl deepening, muttering to the crew, kids stirring trouble again. The engineer's glares cut into Malik, their whispers venomous, branding him an outsider. Victor's phone buzzed, his private investigator's text flashing, DNA kit ready, get a sample now. Victor's jaw clenched, his resolve hardening. He needed proof Malik was Ethan's son, his grandson. Stay sharp, he told Malik, his tone clipped, slipping toward Malik's toolbox, his hand brushing a greasy rag, pocketing it for the day test. Unnoticed, Malik's eyes narrowed, catching the movement, his voice sharp. What are you doing? Victor's glare silenced him. Focus on the jet. The hangar pulsed, the crew's tension palpable. Harris barking orders, his voice dripping scorn. Kid, stop playing detective and scrub something. Malik's fist tightened, the watch heavy in his pocket, but he turned to the jet, wrench in hand, checking the cockpit's wiring. Ethan's words echoing. A shadow moved behind a fuel drum, a technician, Carter, Harris's loyal deputy, slipping a microchip into the jet's navigation system, his phone texting override planted. Crash on takeoff. Malik's head snapped up, spotting the glint, his shout piercing someone's rigging the nav. He sprinted, toolbox crashing, dodging crates, Carter bolting, knocking over a tool rack, wrenches scattering. Victor charged after, roaring, "Stop him!" Malik tackled Carter, wrench swinging, grazing his arm, the microchip skidding across the concrete, its wires exposed. Carter's knife flashed, slashing Malik's sleeve, blood seeping, but Malik twisted, pinning Carter's wrist, the blade clattering. Victor grabbed the chip, his face grim, voice a snarl. "You're with the saboteur!" Carter spat, struggling. "You'll never fly." Harris rushed forward, shouting, "He's lying!" The kids framing him, the crew closed in, their faces hostile, but Victor's glare froze them. Back off, Malik stood, blood dripping, the watch glinting, his voice fierce. "Check the chip. It's wired to crash." Victor handed it to a security guard, his order sharp. "Analyze it, now." Carter kicked free, diving behind a crate, his radio crackling. "Burn the logbook." Malik's heart raced, realizing the journal in his hand was the target, sprinting to the cockpit, shoving it under a panel. But Carter re-emerged, a lighter in hand, igniting a fuel-soaked rag, flames surging toward a gas canister. Malik dove, grabbing a fire extinguisher, foam blasting, choking the fire, the canister hissing, inches from exploding. Victor tackled Carter, knee on his chest, fist connecting, blood spattering. "Who's paying you?" Carter choked, gasping. "Ask Harris," the accusation hung, Harris's face paling, his shout desperate. "He's delusional." Malik scrambled up, wrench raised, eyes locked on Harris, the crew's murmurs growing, doubt creeping in. Victor hauled Carter to his feet, shoving him to security, his voice lethal. "Lock him up." The guard dragged Carter off, his radio static fading, but Malik's eyes caught a glint, a hidden camera, wired to a beam, its lens trained on the jet, streaming to an unknown source. He climbed a ladder, wrench ripping the camera free, its wires sparking, shouting, "They're watching us." Victor snatched it, his face darkening, texting his investigator, "Trace this feed." The hangar's doors rattled, press vans closer, their lights flooding, the launch ticking down. Malik flipping through the logbook, finding a new entry. Board member Klein pushed for untested fuel, Suspect sabotage. His voice shook, handing it to Victor. This name's. Victor's eyes narrowed, his voice low. Klein's on the board. He's untouchable unless we get proof. Harris hovered, his sneer faltering, his voice sharp. You're buying this kid's story. He's a liability. Victor's glare was deadly. You're treading thin ice, Harris. Malik's watch weighed heavy, Ethan's legacy to fire in his chest, his voice firm. I'm not backing down. A clatter echoed, a wrench hitting the floor near the jet's tail. Another saboteur slipping through. Texting logbook located. Strike now. Malik sprinted, wrench swinging, dodging oil drums, the figure bolting, dropping a smoke grenade, gray clouds billowing, choking the hangar. Victor coughed, shouting, flank him. Malik dove through the smoke, tackling the saboteur, wrench cracking his knee, the man howling, his phone skidding, its screen flashing Klein's orders. Destroy evidence. Victor grabbed it, his face a mask of fury, shoving the saboteur to security. Take him. The smoke cleared, Malik's breath ragged, blood staining his arm, the watch glinting, his voice fierce. They're scared of this logbook. Victor's hand clamped Malik's shoulder, his voice steel. You're more than they think. Harris's face twisted, his shout desperate. He's a kid. He'll ruin us. The crew shifted, their scorn wavering. Malik's resolve unshaken. Victor's phone buzzed, the investigator's text DNA sample received. Results in hours. His eyes met Malik's. The watch a bridge to Ethan, a vow to uncover the truth. The hangar hummed, the jet ready, the press at the gates, Klein's shadow looming, Malik's fight for his father's legacy, a spark to ignite a war within Sky Pulse. The jet's engines roared, then sputtered, the Sky Pulse flagship lurching mid-test flight, its nose dipping as alarms screamed in the cockpit. Malik, strapped in the co-pilot's seat for the trial run, gripped the yoke, his wrench tucked in his jumpsuit, the silver pocket watch with its jet airplane engraving heavy in his pocket. The pilot, Jenkins, cursed, fighting the controls, shouting fuel systems failing. Below, the hangar's tarmac blurred, the press conference 1 hour away, news vans circling like vultures. Victor, monitoring from the control tower, slammed his fist on the console, his voice a snarl over the radio. Get that jet down, or you're all done, Harris. In the tower, sneered. Told you the kid's a curse, his engineers nodded, their glares pinning Malik's name to the chaos. Despite his heroics with the logbook and saboteurs, Malik's eyes scanned the gauges, spotting a fuel pressure drop, his voice sharp. It's not mechanical, it's tampered. Jenkins' face paled, but he banked the jet, aiming for the runway, the craft shuddering, wings tilting. Malik unbuckled, diving for the maintenance hatch, wrench in hand, shouting, cover me. Jenkins nodded, sweat dripping. As the jet descended, ground rushing up. In the tower, Victor's phone buzzed. His investigator's text flashing DNA confirms Malik's your grandson. His breath caught. Ethan's watch a burning truth, but the jet's peril snapped him back. His voice booming, Malik, report. Malik pried open the hatch, fuel fumes choking him, spotting a rigged valve in the fuel line, its wires blinking red, set to starve the engines. Sabotage, he shouted, wrench twisting, sparks flying, his hands slick with grease. The jet jolted, dropping 50 feet. Jenkins yelling, whoa, we're losing it. Malik ripped out the worm, the valve freeing, fuel surging, the engines roaring back, the jet leveling inches from the tarmac, tires screeching as it landed, skidding, halting. The hangar crew rushed out, Harris barking, the kid nearly crashed us. Victor stormed from the tower, his glare silencing Harris, his voice ice. He saved you all. Malik climbed out, blood from a cut on his hand smearing the watch, his breath ragged. Ethan's logbook tucked in his jumpsuit, its warning Klein's fuel sabotage echoing. Victor grabbed him, eyes blazing. "How'd you know?" Malik's voice was firm. "Logbook. Klein's behind this." Victor's face darkened, his phone buzzing security footage showing a figure tampering with the jet pre-flight, hired by board member Klein. "Find him." Victor growled, shoving the phone to a guard. Harris hovered, his sneer faltering. "You're trusting a kid over us." Victor's voice cut. "He's worth 10 of you." The hangar's doors rattled, press vans closer, but a clatter near the jet's tail snapped Malik's head around a saboteur. Klein's agent, slipping a detonator into the fuel tank. Texting, "Finish it now." Malik sprinted, toolbox crashing, shouting, "He's back." Victor charged, roaring, "Stop him." The saboteur bolted, dropping a smoke grenade, gray clouds billowing, choking the hangar. Malik dove through, wrench swinging, grazing the man's leg, the detonator skidding, its timer blinking 30 seconds. Victor tackled the saboteur, knee on his chest, fist connecting, blood spattering. "Who's with Klein?" The man choked. "You'll see." Malik grabbed the detonator, fingers ripping wires, the timer freezing at 5 seconds, his heart pounding, the watch glinting. The smoke cleared, the saboteur cuffed, dragged off, but his phone pinged Klein's next move press conference. Malik's eyes met Victor's, his voice fierce. "They're hitting the launch." Victor nodded, his hand on Malik's shoulder. "Your family. We end this together." Harris lunged forward, shouting, "He's a liability. Klein's right to want him gone." The crew murmured, their scorn reigniting. But Victor's glare was lethal. "You're on notice, Harris." Malik flipped open the logbook. Finding a new note, Klein met with fuel supplier. "Crash planned." His voice shook. "This proves it." Victor snatched it, his face grim, texting his investigator. "Get Klein's records." A shadow moved near the jet's wing, a second saboteur, planting a tracker, texting, "Follow them to the stage." Malik sprinted, wrench raised, dodging crates, the man bolting, knocking over a fuel drum, oil spilling. Victor flanked him, shouting, "Cut him off." Malik tackled the saboteur, wrench cracking his arm, the tracker skidding, its signal dead. The man kicked free, vanishing into the hangar's maze, alarms blaring. Victor grabbed the tracker, his voice steel. Klein's watching every move. Malik stood, blood dripping, the watch a vow, his voice fierce. "We'll stop him." Harris's face twisted, his shout desperate. "You're betting the company on a kid." Victor's eyes burned. "I'm betting on my grandson." The crew gasped, the word hanging. Malik's eyes widening, the watch heavy. Ethan's legacy afire. A guard rushed in, holding a fuel sample report. Contaminated. Klein's supplier. Victor's fist clenched, his voice low. "He's done." The hangar hummed, press vans flooding the tarmac, the jet secure, Klein's conspiracy unraveling. Malik's watch a beacon to expose the truth and save Skypulse. Malik's hands shook as he clutched Ethan's logbook, its pages accusing board member Klein of sabotaging the Skypulse jet, the hangar's air thick with fuel fumes and betrayal. The press conference was 30 minutes away. News vans swarming the tarmac, their cameras flashing. But the DNA results Victor had received Malik was his grandson changed everything. Victor stood before the jet, his suit crisp, eyes like steel, his voice low. "You're Ethan's son. My blood." Malik's breath caught, the silver pocket watch with its jet airplane engraving heavy in his jumpsuit, his voice sharp. "You knew." Victor's jaw clenched, his nod curt. "Since the test, now the world knows." A news alert blared from a crew member's phone. Skypulse CEO's secret grandson revealed. The hangar erupted, engineers whispering, Harris's face twisting, his shout venomous. "A street kid is heir." This company's doomed, his crew nodded, their glares cutting into Malik. The charity case now a threat. Victor's voice roared, enough. He saved this jet more than any of you. Malik's fist tightened, the watch a vow. But the media storm surged, drones buzzing overhead, reporters shouting outside. Victor's phone buzzed, his investigator warning Klein's hired muscle, targeting Malik at the simulator. Victor's eyes narrowed, his order sharp, get to the training wing, now. Malik sprinted, logbook tucked in his jumpsuit, wrench in hand, Victor flanking him, their boots pounding the hangar's concrete. Harris trailed, muttering he'll crash us all. The training wing loomed, its simulator a high-tech cockpit replica, screens glowing. Malik climbed in, running diagnostics. The logbook's warning, Klein's fuel sabotage, echoing. A shadow moved a hired thug, Klein's enforcer, slipping through the wing's doors, a silenced pistol glinting, his radio crackling. Take the kid out! Malik's head snapped up, spotting the glint, shouting intruder. He dove behind the simulator, wrench raised, as the thug fired, the bullet sparking off the console, screens shattering. Victor tackled the thug, his fist connecting, blood spattering. But the man kicked free, pistol swinging, grazing Victor's shoulder, blood seeping. Malik hurled his wrench, clipping the thug's wrist, the gun skidding, his voice fierce. You're done, the thug drew a knife, lunging, slashing Malik's arm, blood dripping. But Malik twisted, grabbing a fire extinguisher, foam blasting, blinding the thug. Victor wrestled him, sealing on his chest, snarling, who sent you? The thug choked, Klein wants the kid gone. Malik scrambled up, blood staining the watch, shoving the logbook into a panel, protecting it. Harris burst in, shouting, he's a magnet for trouble. Victor shoved the thug to security, his glare lethal. You're next, Harris. The guard cuffed the thug, dragging him off, but his radio pinged backup en route. Malik's eyes caught a flicker a second thug, hiding in the simulator's wiring bay, planting a charge, texting below the training wing. Malik dove in, wrench ripping wires, sparks flying, the charge's timer blinking 20 seconds. Victor shouted, get out, but Malik's hands moved, disarming the device, the timer freezing at 3 seconds, his breath ragged. The thug lunged, knife flashing, but Malik swung the extinguisher, cracking his ribs, the man collapsing, blood pooling. Victor grabbed the charge, his face grim, texting his investigator Klein's men confirmed. Arrest him. The wing's alarms blared. Press vans closer, their lights flooding through windows. Malik stood, arm bleeding, the watch glinting, his voice firm, Klein scared of the truth. Victor's hand clamped his shoulder, voice steel. You're proving him right to be. Harris's face contorted, his shout desperate. He's no heir, he's a kid. The crew murmured, their scorn faltering. But a shareholder's voice crackled over Victor's phone. Furious. Remove the boy, or we pull funding. Victor's eyes burned, his voice low. You'll see what he's worth. Malik flipped open the logbook, finding a new note. Klein bribed inspector. Crash covered up. His voice shook, handing it to Victor. This nails him. Victor nodded, his face set. Texting security, detain Klein at the conference. A clatter echoed a third thug, slipping through the wing's vents, dropping a smoke grenade. Gray clouds billowing, choking the air. Malik coughed, sprinting, wrench raised, spotting the thug rigging the simulator's fuel line. Texting crashed the demo. Victor flanked him, shouting, cut him off. Malik tackled the thug, wrench cracking his arm, the fuel line sparking, his hands ripping out the rig valve. Foam from the extinguisher dousing the sparks. The thug kicked free, knife slashing, grazing Malik's side, blood seeping. But Victor tackled him, pinning him, blood dripping. His voice a snarl, it's over. Security cuffed the thug, dragging him away, the smoke clearing, Malik's breath heaving, the watch afire in his pocket. Victor stood, shoulder bleeding, his voice raw. "You're Ethan's son. You fight like him." Malik's eyes met his, the logbook safe, his voice fierce. For him, Harris hovered, his sneer gone, the crew silent, their doubts shaken. The hangar pulsed. Press vans at the gates, Klein's empire crumbling. Malik's watch a beacon to expose the truth and save Skypulse. The hangar's floodlights blazed, the Skypulse jet gleaming center stage, its engines purring as the press conference erupted. Reporters' cameras flashing, drones buzzing overhead. Malik stood beside Victor, his jumpsuit bloodied from the simulator fight, the silver pocket watch with its jet airplane engraving tucked in his pocket, Ethan's logbook proof of Klein's sabotage safe in Victor's hands. The crowd roared, but shareholders, led by Klein's ally, Miss Vaughn, surged forward, her voice shrill, a teenager as air Skypulse is a laughingstock. Harris, flanked by engineers, nodded, his sneer venomous. "He's a fraud." Malik's fist clenched, the watch a vow. But Victor's voice boomed. "Watch him work." He shoved Malik toward the jet, his eyes steel. "Show them." Malik climbed onto the wing, wrench in hand, heart pounding. The crowd's jeers echoing. Harrain shouting, "He'll break it." Malik ignored them, opening a panel, spotting a loose fuel relay deliberately tampered. Klein's final play. His fingers flew, tightening bolts, rerouting wires, the relay clicking, the engine's hum steadying, the crowd gasping, Vaughn's face paling. Reporters cheered, cameras zooming, but Harris barked. Fluke Victor's glare silenced him. "Results don't lie." Malik jumped down, grease smearing the watch, his voice firm. "It's ready to fly." The hangar shook a muffled boom, flames erupting near the fuel tanks, a rigged explosive detonating, smoke billowing, screams piercing. Malik sprinted, shouting Klein's men. Victor charged, roaring, "Evacuate the crew." A saboteur, Klein's last operative, emerged from the smoke, a detonator in hand. Texting, "Finish the jet." Malik tackled him, wrench swinging, cracking his arm, the detonator skidding, its timer blinking 15 seconds. The saboteur's knife flashed, slashing Malik's shoulder, blood dripping. But Malik twisted, pinning his wrist, the blade clattering. Victor grabbed the detonator, fingers ripping wires, the timer freezing at 2 seconds, his voice a snarl. "You're done." The saboteur kicked free, diving into the flames, his radio crackling back up at the tail. Malik scrambled up, blood staining the watch, spotting a second thug rigging a fuel line, gas spraying, flames licking closer. He dove, wrench twisting the valve, choking the spray, foam from a fire extinguisher dousing the fire. His breath ragged, Victor tackled the thug, fist connecting, blood spattering, shouting, "Who's with Klein?" The thug choked Vaughn, the crowd scattered. Reporters streaming live, drones crashing in the chaos. The jet's hull scorched but intact. Harris rushed forward, shouting, "The kid caused this?" Victor shoved him back, his voice lethal. "You're complicit." Malik stood, shoulder bleeding, the watch glinting, his voice fierce. "Check the fuel tanks. They're targeting the launch." Security swarmed, cuffing the thug, dragging him off. But Vaughn's voice cut through, desperate. "This is a setup." Victor's glare pinned her. "We have proof." "Proof." He held up the logbook, its pages damning Klein and Vaughn. The crowd murmuring, reporters shouting questions. A third explosion rocked the hangar's rear, a fuel drum igniting, flames surging toward the jet's tail. A final saboteur dropping a Molotov cocktail, texting, "Burn it all." Malik sprinted, grabbing a fire blanket, smothering the flames, his hands raw, the watch searing against his skin. Victor dove, tackling the saboteur, knee on his chest, blood dripping, his voice a roar. It's over, the saboteur gasped, his phone skidding, his screen flashing Vaughn's orders. Malik doused the last flames, the jet safe, the hangar smoldering, his breath heaving. Security cuffed the saboteur, Vaughn's face ashen, her shout frantic. "You can't prove anything." Victor's voice boomed. "This logbook does." He handed it to a guard, ordering arrest her. The crowd cheered, reporters swarming, drones circling, the jet a symbol of defiance. Malik sank to a crate, blood dripping, the watch afire in his pocket, his voice low, "For Dad." Victor knelt, his hand on Malik's shoulder, voice raw, Ethan's proud. Harris hovered, his sneer gone, the engineers silent, their scorn shattered. Victor stood, facing the crowd, his voice steady. "Malik's my grandson. He's Sky Pulse's future." Reporters gasped, cameras flashing, but a shareholder's voice crackled over a speaker. Furious, he'll never lead. Victor's eyes burned. He already has. Malik rose, wrench in hand, the watch glinting, his resolve unshaken. A guard rushed in, holding a recovered phone. Klein's confessing. Vaughn's implicated. Victor's fist clenched, his voice low. "They're finished." The hangar pulsed, the jet ready, press vans flooding the tarmac, Klein's empire collapsing. Malik's watch a beacon to secure Sky Pulse's launch and honor Ethan's legacy. Malik's shoulder throbbed, blood seeping through his jumpsuit from the hangar inferno. The silver pocket watch with its jet airplane engraving a steady weight in his pocket. Ethan's logbook proof of Klein's sabotage now locked in Victor's safe. The Sky Pulse jet stood ready on the tarmac, its hull gleaming under dawn's light. The maiden flight demo set to silence doubters. Reporters' cameras rolling, drones buzzing. Victor faced the crowd, his suit crisp, voice booming. "Malik is my grandson, Sky Pulse's heir, and our pilot trainee." The crowd gasped, but shareholders, led by a furious board member, Grayson, surged forward shouting, "A kid in the cockpit! You're bankrupting us!" Harris, flanked by engineers, sneered, "He's a danger." Malik's fist clenched, the watch a vow, but Victor's glare silenced them. He's proven himself. Watch, Malik, in a trainee flight suit, climbed into the co-pilot's seat, wrench tucked away, heart pounding, Ethan's legacy burning in his chest. The pilot, Ramsey, a grizzled veteran, nodded, but his eyes flickered, his radio crackling softly. "Take him down." Unbeknownst to Malik, Ramsey was Klein's mole, complicit in Ethan's crash, now tasked to sabotage the demo. Victor, in the control tower, gripped the mic, voice sharp, flawless flight. "Malik, show them." The jet's engines roared, lifting off, the crowd cheering, but Harris muttered, "He'll crash." The jet climbed, clouds parting, Malik scanning gauges, his voice steady, systems green. Ramsey's hand twitched, slipping a microchip into the control panel, its signal jamming the autopilot. The jet lurching, nose dipping, alarms blared. Malik grabbing the yoke, shouting, "What's happening?" Ramsey's knife flashed, grazing Malik's arm, blood dripping, his voice a hiss. Klein sends regards. Malik twisted, wrench swinging, cracking Ramsey's wrist, the knife clattering, his voice fierce. "You're done." The jet spiraled, ground rushing up, the crowd screaming, drones streaming live. Victor's voice roared over the radio. "Malik, take control." Malik shoved Ramsey aside, yanking the yoke, fingers ripping out the microchip, sparks flying, the autopilot stabilizing, the jet leveling, wings shuddering. Ramsey lunged, fist connecting, blood spattering Malik's face. But Malik kicked, pinning him to the seat. Wrench raised, snarling, "Why'd you kill my dad?" Ramsey choked. "Klein paid us." Malik's heart raced, the watch searing, Ethan's truth spilling out. The jet banked, runway in sight, But Ramsey triggered a backup device. Fuel lines choking, engines sputtering. Malik dove for the maintenance hinge, wrench twisting valves, rerouting fuel, sweat mixing with blood, the engines roaring back, the jet steadying, tires screeching as it landed, skidding, halting. The crowd erupted, reporters swarming, drones circling, but Malik wrestled Ramsey, cuffing him with a cable tie. His voice raw. For Ethan, Victor stormed the tarmac, shoving through security. His voice a roar, "Get that traitor." Guards cuffed Ramsey, dragging him off. His radio crackling. Klein's finished. Malik climbed out, blood dripping, the watch glinting, handing Victor the microchip. His voice firm. He confessed. Klein Riggy Dad's crash. Victor's face hardened, texting his investigator, "Arrest Klein now." Harris rushed forward, shouting, "The kid nearly killed us." Victor's glare was lethal. "He saved us. You're fired." The engineers fell silent, their scorns shattered. Grayson's face ashen, his shout desperate. "He's no pilot." Victor held up the logbook, its pages damning. "He's Ethan's son. He's Skypulse." The crowd cheered, cameras flashing. But a shadow moved a final saboteur, Klein's last operative, slipping a grenade under the jet's wing. Texting ended. Malik's eyes caught the glint. Sprinting. Shouting bomb, he dove, wrench prying the grenade free, hurling it into a sandpit, the explosion shaking the tarmac. Shrapnel flying. His arm grazed, blood seeping. Victor tackled the saboteur, fist connecting, blood pooling, snarling. "It's over." Security cuffed the man, dragging him away. His phone revealing Klein's orders. Malik stood, the watch afire, his voice fierce. "No more crashes." Victor's hand clamped his shoulder, voice raw. "You're my blood. Ethan's proud." Grayson's voice crackled over a speaker. Frantic, "We'll sue." Victor's eyes burned. "Try it." The crowd roared, reporters shouting, drones streaming, the jet untouched, a symbol of defiance. Malik flipped open the logbook, finding Ethan's last note. "Fly for truth." His eyes met Victor's, the watch glinting, his resolve steel. "I will." Harris slunk away, the engineers bowing their heads, their doubt erased. A guard rushed in, holding Klein's confession. "He's implicating Grayson." Victor's fist clenched, his voice low. "They're done." The tarmac pulsed, the jet ready, Sky Pulse's future secure. Malik's watch a beacon to honor Ethan's legacy and soar beyond the storm. Malik's boots hit the tarmac, his pilot trainee uniform crisp. The silver pocket watch engraved with a jet airplane and now adorned with Sky Pulse's logo glinting in the dawn light, a symbol of Ethan's legacy and his own future. The Sky Pulse jet loomed, its engines purring, ready for the maiden flight of the new VIP route. The crowd roaring, reporters' cameras flashing, drones circling overhead. Victor stood by the hangar, his suit sharp, eyes gleaming with pride, his voice low. "Your father's watching." "Malik." Malik nodded, the watch heavy. Ethan's logbook proof of Klein's downfall safe in Victor's office, its truth having toppled a conspiracy. Shareholders, humbled after Grayson's arrest, clapped, but a few engineers, remnants of Harris's loyalists, muttered, "Kid's no pilot." Victor's glare silenced them, his voice steel. "He's more than you'll ever be." Malik climbed into the co-pilot's seat, wrench tucked in his flight bag, heart pounding, the watch a vow to fly for truth. Captain Ellis, the lead pilot, nodded, his voice calm. "Ready." Trainee Malik's fingers brushed the watch, his reply firm. "Born for this." The jet taxied, the runway stretching ahead, but a shadow moved a final saboteur, Klein's last operative, slipping under the wing, planting a magnetic explosive. Texting crashed the launch. Malik's eyes caught the glint, shouting, "Stop the takeoff." He unbuckled, diving for the hatch, wrench in hand, Ellis slamming the brakes, the jet skidding, crowd gasping. Victor sprinted from the hangar, roaring, "What's happening?" Malik dove under the wing, spotting the device, its timer blinking 10 seconds. His wrench pried it free, sparks flying, blood from his healed shoulder wound seeping, the watch glinting as he hurled the explosive into a sandpit, the blast shaking the tarmac, shrapnel pinging the jet's hull. The saboteur bolted, dropping a knife, but Malik tackled him, wrench cracking his arm, blood spattering, his voice fierce, "You're done." Victor flanked, fist connecting, pinning the man, snarling, "Klein's gone." Why fight the saboteur choked Grayson's network? Security cuffed him, dragging him off, his phone revealing a final order, ruined sky pulse. Malik stood, breath ragged, the watch afire, his voice firm. They failed. Victor's hand clamped his shoulder, voice raw, "You saved us again." The crowd cheered, reporters swarming, drones streaming, the jet untouched, a beacon of defiance. Ellis restarted the engines, shouting back in. Malik climbed aboard, blood smearing the watch, the runway clear, the jet roaring forward, lifting off, clouds parting, the crowd erupting, cameras flashing. Victor watched from below, his eyes wet, whispering, "Ethan, he's yours." Malik scanned the gauges, the watch glinting, his voice steady, flight path clear. Ellis grinned, "You're a natural." The jet soared, the city shrinking, Sky Pulse's logo gleaming on the wings, a testament to Ethan's dream. Back on the tarmac, a guard rushed to Victor, holding Grayson's confession, network dismantled. Victor's fist clenched, his voice low. "It's over." The engineers, their scorn shattered, clapped, one muttering, "Bear Kid's the real deal." Victor nodded, his pride unshaken. Texting his investigator, "Close the case." Malik's voice crackled over the radio. "This is for Dad." Victor's chest tightened, the watch's logo a bridge to Ethan, his legacy alive in Malik's hands. The jet banked, sunlight glinting, the flight flawless. Reporters shouting below, drones capturing every moment. Malik flipped open his flight log, echoing Ethan's last note, "Fly for truth." His fingers brushed the watch, its new logo shining. His resolve steel always. The jet landed, tires screeching, the crowd roaring, Malik stepping out, uniform proud, the watch radiant. Victor met him, hand extended, voice raw, "Your Sky Pulse's heart." Malik shook it, eyes locked, the watch a vow for family. Reporters surged, questions flying, but a shareholder's voice rose, humbled. "He's earned it." The engineers saluted, their doubt erased, the jet a symbol of triumph. A final drone crashed, its camera sparking, a relic of Klein's failed war, security sweeping it away. Malik stood tall, the watch gleaming, the sky open, his future boundless. Victor's eyes met his, a nod sealing their bond. Ethan's spirit soaring in every flight. The tarmac pulsed, Sky Pulse reborn. Malik's watch a beacon of courage, the jet's wings carrying a legacy that would never fade. From a hangar blaze to a soaring triumph, Malik and Victor exposed Klein's betrayal, honoring Ethan's legacy. Thanks for watching, like, share, and subscribe to catch every thrilling saga. Hit the bell for our latest videos, and let's keep the adventure flying high together.